The Zelthani High Council chamber fell silent as Ambassador Vextar reviewed the human cultural database for the third time. The crystalline beings had spent decades cataloging species across the galaxy, collecting art, music, literature, and philosophical works from every civilization they encountered. Humans, however, presented a unique challenge. "This cannot be correct," Vextar's translator crackled, his prismatic form shifting through worried hues of amber and red. According to this data, 97% of human entertainment media involves conflict, violence, or warfare. Council leader Zethan materialized beside him, her form a swirling mass of silver light. Perhaps their archival systems are corrupted. No species could be so aggressive and still achieve interstellar travel. Dr. Sarah Chen, the human cultural liaison, smiled politely from her seat at the witness podium. She had been fielding these questions for hours, watching the Zelthani grow increasingly disturbed by humanity's creative output. "I assure you the data is accurate," Dr. Chen said. "Would you like me to elaborate on any particular genre?" Vextar's form flickered, nervously. "These action movies you speak of, surely they are cautionary tales about the horrors of violence?" "Not exactly. They're usually about heroes using violence to solve problems and save people they care about. Very popular genre, actually." The chamber erupted in harmonious tones of distress. The Zelthani had built their civilization on the AO principle of absolute pacifism, having evolved from a species of living crystals that reproduced through harmonic resonance. Violence was not just foreign to them, it was incomprehensible. "And these video games?" Council leader Zethan inquired, her light pulsing with curiosity and horror. "Children participate in simulated warfare for enjoyment?" "That's right. Some of our most popular games involve strategic combat, first-person shooters, or survival scenarios. We find them quite engaging." The youngest council member, barely a century old, managed to speak through his shock. "But surely your literature is more refined, your poetry, your great works?" Dr. Chen pulled up another file. "Well, there's the Iliad and the Odyssey, ancient epics about war and its aftermath. Beowulf, which is about a warrior fighting monsters. Shakespeare wrote extensively about murder, revenge, and political violence. Our most beloved fantasy works usually involve quests, battles, and the struggle between good and evil." She paused, noting their distressed harmonics. "Even our children's stories often involve conflict. Little Red Riding Hood deals with a predatory threat. Three Little Pigs is about home defense against an aggressive intruder. Jack and the Beanstalk is technically about burglary and giant slaying." Vextar's form was now cycling through colors Dr. Chen had never seen before. "This is unprecedented. How does your species function? How do you maintain peace?" "We don't, really. We've had wars throughout our entire recorded history. Even now with interstellar travel, we still have conflicts. But we've learned to channel a lot of that aggression into sports, competitions, and entertainment." "Sports?" Zethan asked weakly. "Organized competition, sometimes quite physical. Boxing, martial arts, American football, we literally call it combat sports sometimes." The Zelthani Council began emitting a low, mournful harmony. Dr. Chen recognized it as their species' equivalent of weeping. "I don't understand your distress," she said gently. "Yes, we have a violent history, but we've also created incredible art, music, and literature. Our conflicts have driven innovation, fostered courage, and taught us about sacrifice, honor, and protecting those we love." "But the killing," Vextar whispered. "Your records show billions of deaths in conflicts." "Yes, and we remember them, we honor them. We study our wars not just to glorify them, but to understand the costs. Every human child learns about the horrors of war alongside the heroism." A new voice joined the conversation, deep, mechanical, and distinctly non-Zelthani. The chambers, security systems activated as an unknown ship, decloaked directly above their crystal city. "This is War Commander Grixith of the Vorthak Imperium," the voice boomed. "Your little crystal gardens look quite valuable. Surrender your resources and we might let some of you survive to serve us." The Zelthani Council's harmonics shifted to pure terror. In their 1,000-year history, they had never encountered an aggressive species. Their first contact protocols assumed all beings were as peaceful as themselves. Dr. Chen stood up, her expression hardening in a way that made several council members instinctively dim their light. "Commander, this is Dr. Sarah Chen, representing the Terran Federation. These people are under our protection." Grixith's laughter was like grinding metal. "Humans? The soft little mammals who make art and music? Stand aside, primate." "Soft?" Dr. Chen smiled, and even the Zelthani recognized the predatory nature of the expression. "Zethan, patch me through to the UES Retribution in orbit." "This is Admiral Martinez," came the crisp reply. "We've been monitoring, Doc. How do you want to handle this?" The Vorthak seem unimpressed by our cultural achievements. Perhaps they'd be more interested in our military statistics. The Zelthani watched in fascination and growing horror as Dr. Chen seamlessly shifted from cultural ambassador to strategic coordinator. "Admiral, please transmit our species' complete military history to the Vorthak vessel. All of it." Several minutes passed. Then Grixith's voice returned, notably less confident. "This cannot be accurate. You claim to have eliminated your own species with nuclear weapons and then continued fighting?" "Twice," Dr. Chen said pleasantly. "And those were primitive weapons compared to what we have now. We've had over 2,000 years to refine our methods. Impossible. No species survives such violence." Admiral Martinez's voice cut through the comm. "Commander, you're looking at a species that turned warfare into an art form, then turned that art form into entertainment, then went to the stars. Anyway, we didn't overcome our violent nature, we weaponized it. The Vorthak ship's shields flickered to life, but too late. The UES Retribution's warning shot, a precisely calculated blast that destroyed exactly 1/3 of their weapons, systems illuminated the chamber in brilliant white light. "The next shot removes your entire ship," Admiral Martinez said conversationally. "Your choice." The Vorthak vessel jumped to FTL without another word. In the aftermath, the Zelthani Council sat in stunned silence. Finally, Vextar spoke, his form now a confused mixture of relief and bewilderment. "Dr. Chen, we may have misunderstood the nature of your cultural contributions." She smiled, settling back into her chair as if nothing had happened. "Culture isn't just art and music, Ambassador. It's how a species thinks, how they solve problems, how they protect what matters to them." Zethan's light pulsed thoughtfully. "You study war to understand peace. You embrace conflict to protect harmony." "Something like that. We learned long ago that the universe isn't always friendly, so we became very, very good at being unfriendly back." The council began emitting a new harmonic, one Dr. Chen had never heard before. It took her a moment to realize it was profound respect. "Perhaps," Vextar said carefully, "we would benefit from studying more than just your entertainment media." Dr. Chen's smile turned genuine. "I'd be happy to recommend some military history texts. Fair warning, though, the kill counts might be a bit shocking." The Zelthani, for the first time in their species' history, found themselves eager to learn about violence. After all, they had just discovered that sometimes the most beautiful culture comes from the ugliest necessities.